Hey folks, Miss Peters here to talk to you today about using a search engine like Google effectively for your research. Here are the topics we're going to cover: search engines versus resources, keyword searches versus typing in the whole research question, credible resources, and last, Wikipedia and other encyclopedia type websites. So let's get into it. Topic 1. Search engines versus resources. Believe it or not, this is one of the biggest things I mark people down for on the relevant sources and evidence-related cog skills. People, there's a difference between search engines and resources. These are search engines. Their whole job is to do the searching of the internet for you. However, they are not a resource. A resource is something you would put in your works cited page. Annoyingly, in the past few years, Google, since that's what most of you use, has started doing this thing where it will provide a snippet of a website at the top of the search results. Snippets are exactly what they sound like: a small, short preview of what is in that website. It is a useful tool, but for some reason, instead of clicking on the link to the website, there are many of you who just copy and paste whatever it is that Google pops up as the first answer, and you use that as a piece of evidence, and you cite Google as your resource instead of the article where the information comes from. Stop. Just stop. That is not how you research. At least, it makes my job super easy when I suspect plagiarism, because all I have to do is copy and paste the evidence you supplied back into Google, and voila, takes me right back to the same snippet you copied from. In conclusion, a search engine is not a resource. It is a tool that helps you find resources. If you do the research right the first time, you won't get your essay sent back to you. Instead of stopping your research at the first thing Google spits back up at you, let's take a look at how to properly use the tool that Google is. So topic 2. Keyword searches versus typing in the whole research question. A common method some of you take when beginning your research is to copy and paste the whole entire question I gave you in the assignment into the Google search bar. This is a good idea to start, and while it will still get you results, it won't always get you the widest variety of results. Imagine, if you will, that you are in a library and you're using the library catalog to find a book, and you type Wizard Harry England. Your result is going to be pretty narrow and will probably only give you one result: the Harry Potter book series. However, if you type in a keyword search about a topic in general, let's say young wizards in this case, you will get way more results and you'll have a larger pool to choose from. The same is true for research. If you use a wider keyword search, then your results will have way more options to choose from. So instead of just typing the whole question, let's just try one part of it: Japanese feudalism. See, in this search, there were about 300,000 more results when just looking at a piece of the question. The benefit to keyword searches is not only that there are more results to explore, but that it also lets you do more of the research and exploring instead of having someone else do it for you. The more you know about a topic will make your writing so much better, since you can consider all the different resources you used instead of just going for the first thing you see. Or, as I believe the kids say these days, big brain. That leads us into topic 3, credible resources. Let's take a look at the first result from our keyword search, since statistically, most people will click the first thing they see. This website is called East Asia History for Kids. So far, so good. When we click the link, it takes us directly to a page about feudal Japan. Great, we like that. There are some accompanying pictures and a few paragraphs of text that seem to do a basic job defining feudalism in Japan. Cool, looks good. So now how do I tell if it's credible? Well, the first step is to check the beginning of the page or the end of the page for an author. If it doesn't have one listed there, a good practice to get into is to look for an about page or a home page on the website. On those pages, you generally want to look for an author or an organization who has written or worked on the website. The other signs you want to look for on these pages is if the creator mentions what their profession is. If they put in their about page that they're a professor of East Asian history, chances are they know what they're talking about and the information on their website can be trusted. However, if they write that they are an elementary math teacher who just likes East Asian history, chances of the research and information being credible start to go way down. In our case, there is no information on the homepage about the author. However, if you take a look at the URL, which is the website link, it does say Mr. Vale's class. So if we wanted to make an educated guess, this Google site was probably made by a history teacher for their history class. A good thing to keep in mind though when on a Google site is that anyone can make a Google site about anything they want. Would I send your paper back for using this as one of your sources? Probably not, since it does have passable information. Could you find better websites? Yes, you can. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and do that. If I keep scrolling past the snippet and past the people also ask, I see a list of the website results. I'm skipping the Ancient History Encyclopedia right now because even though I know it's a reasonable source, sometimes it has a paywall ad that can be difficult to close or get past, and that's just annoying. I'm also going to skip the website called ushistory.org because while they may have a chapter in their online textbook about Japan, it may not be as detailed as I want coming from a website called US History. So the next website that brings me to is this one called ThoughtCo. At first glance, ThoughtCo looks like it's going to be a miss. But after exploring their About page and even clicking on the author of this article, I am confident in using this as a resource. It looks like they keep their website updated as well from the recent date. I also like how it organizes the information on the page. It makes it super easy to identify topics quickly. An added bonus is that this article also does a bit of comparison between Japanese and European feudalism. Even cooler, the article has a neat button at the end that says, "Cite this article," which provides an already made formal bibliography. Extra bonus is that it also lists additional articles at the bottom that are related to the topic. So kudos to ThoughtCo. Finally, we enter our fourth topic, Wikipedia and other encyclopedia-type websites. Now, there isn't really anything inherently bad about any of these websites. Yes, teachers have been saying for years that Wikipedia is bad because anybody can change the information. However, we have come a long way from where it began, and Wikipedia is more heavily moderated than it used to be. But that's not the issue here. The issue is that Wikipedia and other encyclopedias are really great places to learn basic info about whole topics. If we take our feudal Japan example and we go to the Wikipedia page for that, we actually find that we have to follow a redirect to the whole history of Japan page. And then from there, we can go to feudal Japan. But then, if we already know a little bit about feudal Japan, we would notice that the feudal Japan section doesn't categorize the Heian or Edo periods, two periods that were part of our focus in class, as feudal. So you'd be missing out on those really interesting and incredibly influential periods of medieval Japan's history if you just stuck to using Wikipedia. The other issue is that Wikipedia writers are just doing the same thing that you're doing, making a write-up on a topic using evidence to support their information. If you take a quote from Wikipedia, your citation wouldn't be Wikipedia. Your citation would need to be for the original document that Wikipedia was citing. So you would need to go hunt down and read the source yourself, which is why the goldmine of Wikipedia is actually the reference list where the writers compiled the article from. Viewing these resources can often lead you in new directions or to better research document, and even books. Sometimes the books even have limited ebook previews that you can access via Google Books. At the end of the day, however, it is faster and more suited for you if you use a search engine to help you find your own sources to pull your research from. To recap, encyclopedias, great places to start your research, not so great when you want to use it as one of your resources. And that's it, folks. Hopefully, this was a helpful little video about how to conduct research in a research project. See you next time!